Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of the Tips and Tricks series. Today we'll be focusing on one of the most important aspects of any sort of riding on this game, especially if you do any long races, for example online races, career mode races, and a bit of league racing as well. This will be a very critical video for that. So first up, we're going to start with the temperature of the tyres. You see you have three compounds of the soft, medium and hard. Down below you'll have a little text box explaining it. It says, before entering the track, the choice of tyre compounds to install is fundamental. With the asphalt temperatures higher than 111 degrees Fahrenheit, it is recommended for the hard between 91 and 111. It is medium, and on circuits have under 91, soft tyre will be the best. Rain tyres obviously. So you can see there on screen, air is 98 and track is 125, so that's over the hard. That's recommending hard. For some reason in this free practice here, I'm just rating as the old Rossi on the 2006 bike. It doesn't give me the recommended tyre. Usually a recommended tyre so you don't have to work it out for yourself. First up, I'm going to go soft to see what will happen when you go on softs on a track that isn't prepared for temperatures like this. You're going to shred the tyres and I'll show you in a second. Right, so here we are at Sepang. You can see there are my tyre temperatures. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 consecutive laps on softs. I'm going to have traction 3. I'm not going to ride anywhere particularly easy on the bike. I'm going to use it as if I was going for a fast lap. Just keep an eye on the temperatures, keep an eye on the tyre wear, and I'll talk throughout the lap explaining what I'm doing. So when a rear tyre especially goes off, you'll have moments where the rear end will want to rotate around. What I mean by that is when you tip into a corner, the rear end will want to kind of come and meet the front. This corner here now, turn 3 we're coming into, is going to be critical for the rear tyre. Watch how it overheats when I go through here. That's the natural way of drifting it through there. Look how massively overheated the inside right side of the tyre went. Tyre temperatures are the most important when it comes to saving tyre life. I've already cooked my rear tyre. It's going to drop off massively over the next lap. I might even get 2 laps out of it. You can see already how much I burnt in just sector 1. Came out of the last corner and sector 1. It was brand new. And I get to the end of sector 1 and it's shredded, it's overheated. So you can see already we're closing in at 300 degrees. So it's already cooked. I already have a weird kind of a sliding effect on corner entry, corner exit, mid corner. Feels like I'm riding on a wet tyre. I have no edge grip. And I lose a lot of braking performance because when I tip in, the bike once, you can see I'm leaving black lines on leaning in because the overheated the rear tyre. It's not gripping. So you can see even that now it's starting to overheat the front. So as you can see a massive moment to get mid corner. Not doing me any favours, these tyres. You can see again, as soon as I lean in, the rear tyre wants to come round to me. Already in this lap I've used half of my inside, so my right side of the tyre. You can see, just look at this pumping. That's not me doing anything, that's me a full lean. That's the rear tyre and the front tyre giving way. So you can see already, just look at the tyre temperatures. Already at 300. If you go above 300 it stops counting how hot your tyre is, or try and get it to go over. Alex Barros has a nice crash. Also if I just spin it up out here, it should go above 300. You can see there the more than 300 sign comes up. We're going to have one more lap. I think I'm still going to go fastest. Yeah, 0.4. Into turn 1. Rear tyre is just not gripping. I'm very tentative on leaning in. I have so much vibration at ending over kind of 45 degrees lean. Front end feels horrible. The rear is just chattering like mad. Through here is over. Just going to look how much it's pumping. And I've had traction 3 as well, so it's not like I've traction turned way down. It's just I've no grip. The tyre is completely overheated. When I tip in here, I'm expecting the rear to come out. It kind of did. I managed to save it. What you have to do in that situation, if the tyre is after cooking itself and you're having moments on lean, you have to tip in slower. You need to give the tyre time to kind of adjust to its different positioning on the track, which means you are slower tipping in, which means you can't take as much corner speed, you can't be as aggressive on corner entry. You see here, look, just a bit of front brake and the rear end just came around and we end up crashing off track. So I think that's a pretty good example of why your tyre is very important to have the right compound. Otherwise you'll end up with a situation like this where you've shredded your tyres and yeah, nobody wants to see this. So we're back on track, fresh tyres, this time hard, so these are tyres you should be running on. by all means, a soft would be great for qualifying lap, it'll give you great grip, but there's no way you can make it last. You'd have to ride so gently and so slowly to over underheated tyre. You would go slower. It'd be easier to ride a harder compound and give it a bit more beans. So over this lap I'm going to just do it riding, but I'm going to explain a lot of ways you can save tyre. So like I said, number one is the tyre temperatures. If you overheat it, you're just going to shred tyre. You'll see on this lap that the tyre temperatures won't rise as high, and I'll have a lot less durability. That is also down to a harder compound tyre, but it's also I have less grip. So you have a massive trade-off. You need to kind of get the right balance. So usually a medium tyre is good, it gives good performance, good durability, and doesn't overheat as much. But some tracks like Sepang in Sun, you'll want a hard rate tyre sometimes because you have long corners like turn 3 here. So look, it just barely warmed up, and I did exactly what I did on the soft tyre. You want to pick the bike up a lot higher up when you're coming out of corners, so you won't want to gas it like that. See the way I can span up? You want to make the corner to a bit of a V. This is just the difference between riding a bike in a qualifying lap and riding a bike in a race. In a race, you have to manage your tyres. You can't abuse your tyres because they won't last. So corners like this, you want to kind of sit the bike up like that, drift out wide, and kind of have the bike higher up using the fat part of the tyre. You want to be a lot more clean on corner entry. You won't want to throw the bike in and just force it to fit. You want the bike to kind of do the work for you. You don't want to override it. Being over aggressive is a great way to overheat your tyres and wear your tyres. Sliding bike, again, sliding the tyre will just cause heat. Heat causes degradation. We all saw what happens with heat. You want to keep your tyre at all times in the optimum window. Optimum window will give you the best grip and performance. If you overheat it, I keep going back to, if you overheat it, you will get in trouble big time with your tyres. So once you're sitting the bike up, once you're not spinning the rear, once you're not too aggressive on corner entry, you can see, look at the time difference, and I'm up by a second just because I have grip. These tyres are slower than the softs, but because I have a 2-minute lap, it's night and day difference. As well, a harder front tyre will give you more braking stability in heavy braking zones because you have a stiffer construction front tyre. Another rider off the last corner, look how it looks of it. As well, you'll have less edge grip with a harder compound tyre, but it will be traded off where you'll have much better tyre wear and you'll have better tyre temperatures for a whole race. So you can see here now, I'm just going to try and get past my Landry, and I'm going to just spin up the rear again a few times just to show. Just do it here. You'll see the temperatures kind of spike, but not as much with the hard tyre because it can take the abuse. Drifting it all around here, look, the whole way through and through, and it just went barely a light orange, whereas that was a soft, even a medium, bright red. And when you get the temperatures too high, it is very hard to get them back. With this hard tyre, it's already back to green. It's brilliant. Now, you are considerably slower over one lap with this tyre. It is much harder to, if this was a real person, not Melandri, it would be a lot harder to get alongside them out of a braking or into a braking zone or out of a corner exit. You have less kind of punch out of the corner, and what that means is that when you sit the bike up like this, if it was a real rider, it would be more like that. I wouldn't be able to get anywhere near him. This is the AI, so I can just kind of blast past him going around the outside. Nice little move. Again, just watch the inside and the right side of the tyre. I'm trying to burn it as much as I can through there, to the point where I actually run off track, and I couldn't even. It doesn't overheat. Your tyre choice is the most critical, followed then by tyre temperature. If you keep your tyres in the right temperatures, I keep saying because it is the most important bit, that's where you'll keep your race rhythm, keep your race runs going along, and you'll be able to keep a constant pace. If you have a soft tyre, you might be, I would say a different track, we'll go to Jerez for example, you might be able to do 3 laps before they're completely gone off, and you go, yeah, I'll probably gain a second half that lap, so 3 laps, you gain about 6 seconds, 3, 4, 5 seconds, whatever it may be. The laps in that follow, then you will drop 2 seconds a lap, 3 seconds a lap, until the point where you would have lost 8 seconds over the race because you lost so much time because your tyres are. When your tyres go, they don't come back to you. There's no second wind. Once they're gone, they're gone. I personally always favour a harder compound. I never use a soft in this game, even for hot laps. I'll use a soft front just so the bike has nice front end grip and it'll turn in nicely. I'll nearly always go for medium. It'd have to be a very short track in Austria, for example, where you're not on the edge of the tyre for a long time. I'd always favour the medium because medium gives very good grip. gives equally good performance, because if you go with a soft, you might gain in the first 2 sectors and you'll lose it all in sector 3 and sector 4. As soon as it overheats, there's no coming back to it. So that pretty much wraps it up. So let's give it a quick rundown again. Try and square off corners, have the bike sat up before you give full acceleration. Remember, in races, it's not a time trial, you need to manage your tyres, so think about your tyre temperatures, which leads me on to picking the right tyre. If you pick the wrong tyre, it's going to be impossible to ride at a high pace and maintain your temperatures on your tyre. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Practice with it. Do, like, if you're playing a lot of career mode, go on a set of mediums and or in FP1, FP2, and do a few laps. Do some online lobbies with qualifying on set to 15 minutes. Go out in a set of mediums, go in hards, do 5 laps, see what the tyre wear is like. You can also do it in time trial, but you won't have tyre wear on, but you'll see your tyre temperatures, so you know yourself. If you start to, so you're doing mediums at Saxoning and you're overheating the left side of the tyre, if that's happening in time trial with no tyre wear, when you have tyre wear, it's only going to get worse, because you'll have more slip with more tyre wear, and then it'll all kind of snowball from there. So I'm going to leave this video here for today. Next up, I'm probably going to do a different type of tips and tricks video. I'm going to do kind of a broader video. It won't be on one aspect, it'll be on kind of 5 tips for beginners, something along the lines of that. I haven't worked it out fully yet, but it'll be something a bit more based on more than one aspect. So far, the first 10 episodes have all been based on one sole aspect, and I've tried to improve that, but now I'm going to try and improve a bit more, just kind of give basic general tips for kind of newer players and stuff like that. So stay tuned for episode 11, but I'm going to leave it here for today. If you have any questions on tyre wear or anything about any other video I've done before, comment down below. If you like it, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and I should see you in a video in the not so distant future. Bye bye.